Caesar salad has been popular on restaurant menus for decades, and for good reason. The creamy, punchy dressing, the crisp romaine, the crunchy croutons, it's a winning combination. And today Morgan has promised to show us how to make the ultimate Caesar salad, which is a high bar.
It is a high bar, but I'm here for it. I'm a big Caesar salad fan.
You are?
And I do feel like you have to give every ingredient some love.
Okay.
So I'm starting with the croutons. Here I'm taking 4 ounces of ciabatta. This is a little bigger than that, but I'm just gonna use 4 ounces of it. I'm gonna cut it into 1/2-inch pieces. So I really like using ciabatta just because of the texture of it. Like it's really nice and airy. It's a little more tender than something like baguette when you can get that like sort of tough piece in there, and no tough croutons in here. All right, so I've got about 4 ounces over here. Now, I wanna toss them in something flavorful. So here I've got 1/4 cup of oil, and then I've got a garlic clove, and then I've got 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper.
Oh, so you're just making a flavored garlic oil.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I'm just gonna give this a nice little whisk. And actually, do you mind grabbing that bread and dumping it in here for me?
You bet.
Thank you. And just get this nice and tossed together. All right, and I'm just gonna dump this out onto a rim baking sheet. So I'm gonna bake these in a 350-degree oven. I'm just gonna look for them to get nice and golden brown. It'll take about 18 minutes. I'm gonna get in there and stir halfway through.
Oh, those look good.
I know, and they smell nice and garlicky.
They really do.
All right, they're definitely firmed up. You can hear them. It's a good sign.
They sound crunchy.
Exactly. Now let's talk Parmesan. So here I'm actually gonna grate it 2 different ways.
Huh.
I'm gonna try to get about 1/2 cup on the large holes of the box grater. And this I'm actually gonna mix into the salad so I get these nice bigger hunks of Parmesan in the salad. All right, so that's 1/4 and 1/2. And then I'm gonna use this fine grater for the Parmesan for just a little bit more. This is actually gonna go into the dressing to flavor the dressing.
Aha.
It almost dissolves in there, so you get this really nice Parmesan flavor in your punchy dressing. And one more piece I wanna do over here, anchovies. So I'm just taking them, I'm doing like some really nice long cuts and then turning them the other way just to get a really nice mince on here. Okay, so now, time to get into our dressing. So this is just the same bowl from earlier, I just wiped it out. What I'm doing is I'm taking this damp towel and I'm gonna give it a nice little twist. And then I'm gonna place this under the bowl. It's gonna give me a lot of nice traction and it's gonna hold this in place. It gives you kind of a surface once we're whisking. So I am doing a classic Caesar, which starts with a raw egg yolk. It'll help emulsify everything. And if you want, you can use a pasteurized egg yolk here. To that, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. 2 teaspoons of Dijon, which add a nice little kick in here. I've got my anchovies. I have a garlic clove that I'm also adding in.
That looks like it was really minced to a paste too.
It was really nice and fine. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. On our team, we talk a lot about the flavor cliff. Like you wanna take food to the cliff of flavor and like as punchy as you can get it without going over where it's like too salty or too spicy. And like this is hanging onto the cliff.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's like, it's got a lot of punch going on. And a 1/4 teaspoon of table salt. Okay, so I'm gonna whisk this up, make sure everything's really nice and combined. And then actually, since I have you here, can I have you start drizzling?
I was just gonna offer.
Yeah, so it's a 1/2 cup of olive oil. Again, using the best quality oil you can, and if you could, just drip real slowly. It's really important to drizzle it in really slowly like this because it does emulsify it. Like that egg yolk's doing the work here. It'll keep it nice and even, but you do wanna drizzle slowly so that the egg yolk has the time to catch all the oil and contain it.
All right.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, and then will you do me one more favor and grab the fine parm?
Oh yeah. May I?
You may. Let's see. Let's whisk that on in there. All right. And our dressing is complete. So, one more piece.
The lettuce.
The lettuce. Here I've got romaine. I have 2 hearts. It's about 12 ounces total. I'm just gonna cut this into 1-inch pieces. So sometimes I always am a little off on how exactly much an inch is. I'm gonna cut it down lengthwise. I'm gonna use the guide for my 1-inch. And then I can fit another here. I'm gonna turn it, and this way is a little thinner, so I'm just gonna do 1 cut down the center. And then again, I actually don't feel like I need this anymore. Got my measurement down. I'm just gonna go through now and do my 1 cut, and it's kinda gonna fall apart itself. So you get these like nice 1-inch chunks.
Perfectly sized.
Okay, time to assemble. Just adding in the lettuce. the cheese, and now I'm adding these croutons right in here. And now you can hear the crunch.
Yeah.
Good sign. Yeah, so I always kind of just like to go in and actually do a little turn with my tongs, get it nice and coated. All right, you see any dry leaves in here?
I don't. That looks perfection.
Thank you. Then let's serve.
Okay.
Let me get you some. I gotta make sure I get you a lot of croutons up in here.
You do want a crouton with every bite.
Yeah, exactly.
You can smell the garlic from here.
Yeah, and yeah, this is definitely punchy food. Like, you can't be afraid of garlic. You can't be afraid of anchovies. Can't be afraid of flavor.
That's delicious. Does take you right to the edge, but it's not sharp. It's really round on the backside, and I think that's because you used the right amount of olive oil and you started with the yolk.
Yeah, it's all about balance. It's like you want to have those punchy ingredients, but you also want to balance them out. And so we played a lot with ratios in the salad just to get it exactly, you know, hanging on the cliff.
For full episodes of your favorite cooking shows, head over to ATK's Full Episodes channel on YouTube. You can stream complete seasons of America's Test Kitchen, Cook's Country, and more. See you there.